Okay, I think we're ready to move on into a traditional story enactment. If someone would like to, is ready to come up. Tell us your name.
My name's Chris.
Do you have a story for us tonight?
Yeah.
So, could you pick someone to play yourself in the story?
Megan.
So, what happens in your story?
So my story's kind of like like finding myself kind of story. I worked in Disney World recently for a stint of like 7 or 8 months.
Okay.
And the thing that a lot of people don't realize about like working at Disney is that it's very like militant. It's very like you have to be a blank slate of happiness to like kind of
Okay. So this is something they impress upon you there?
Yeah, and they have lots of guidelines that are very, very like strict, and it's just very military. They make you keep your hair a certain way and keep your your facial hair, and that's kind of what the story's about.
Okay.
And I realized that like while I was down there, I was very like happy about things. It was in the past year. I worked there last year. I was happy, but I also felt very anonymous. I mean, I had a name tag on. Everyone wears a name tag. But I was just Chris from McDaniel College, and I didn't really feel like myself when I was there.
So did you feel like you were happy in the way that the Disney Corporation wanted you to be happy?
I was marketed very happily.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, like the Disney image, I think when most people think about Disney, they have a very strict image of like, this is how a princess looks, and this is how a prince looks, and these are how the employees look happily and wave at you like this. Like that's kind of like how it is in your brain, because that's how they make their money. And that's fine.
Did you pick someone to play the Walt Disney Corporation?
Kind of.
So you found yourself actually being pretty happy, but not quite like yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens?
So I finish up with the program, I guess in January of this year, and I come home and I felt kind of like sort of empty for a while, and I was like trying to figure out what it was that like I was home and I was very happy to be back and like kind of amongst my friends and stuff. But I had this idea that I wanted to, I have a mustache. I wanted to grow a mustache to kind of get my personality back and to kind of like reclaim who I was as an individual.
Okay, you thought a mustache would do that?
I thought that it would help.
Okay. And what happens?
So I wasn't sure if I could even grow a mustache. Like in the past, I had like thought maybe of growing one, but I was kind of like ridiculed by my friends at the time because it was.
When did you try to grow a mustache?
I guess it's like 3 or 4 years ago. I had this like little like nasty. It wasn't really. It was kind of. I'll admit it was kind of weird.
So why did you think that growing? Did you think that you were going to have a sort of a stronger spurt of hair?
I mean, I guess I was like, I've been charged up by the sun, and like I come back from Florida, and I was like, I'm a little bit older and wiser. Maybe the wisdom will turn into a mustache. But no, in seriousness, like it was something that like I realized like even previous to that, like when I tried before, the reason that I stopped wasn't because I didn't want to grow one. It was because my friends had told me that it was weird.
So you had this recurring pattern in your life where you tried to grow a mustache and your friends made fun of you, and then you tried to be yourself, and then Walt Disney World said, no, you have to be happy instead.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
And in both cases, you turned into whatever they wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
So this was really for you.
Yeah, this is about me.
And how did that work out?
I mean, it's on my face, and my girlfriend likes it. And I like it. It's the most important thing. My mom thinks it's weird. But, I mean, not that I don't care about what other people think, but I'm kind of at that point where I'm just glad that, like, I don't know, I kind of like to, like, have a conversation with my mustache and tell them thank you for being like me.
So you really do feel like your mustache has kind of saved you from becoming someone else?
It's an important thing, yeah.
So we can do that. Why don't you pick someone to play your mustache? So could you give Aaron some descriptors of your mustache?
Yeah, if it had a personality, it does have a personality. It listens.
So you're
no, because some people have rogue mustaches that are just kind of like all over the place. Mine is very it's very content with being, you know, it takes the product very well. I get lots of compliments from people that I think appreciate the fact that I'm willing to look kind of silly sometimes.
So your mustache listens and obeys?
Yeah, and it's kind of a confidant. Like if I'm having a bad day, like nothing's worse than a bad mustache day, but like if I'm having a bad day, I'll just like I'll curl it up and I'll like if I'm out, like usually somebody will think that it's nice and they'll say something.
So you say you'd like to have a conversation with your mustache. What would you like to say to your mustache?
I just would like to thank it for being there. In seriousness though, I think that it's important because like it's something that like I don't know, it expresses my individuality in a way that I didn't think that I could, you know, after having to sort of blank my slate out for this kind of militant experience that I had.
Anything else you'd like to say about your story before we play it back?
Good luck.
So this is Chris's story about breaking the pattern, about learning to please himself rather than others, with the aid of an ally. Let's watch.
Name is Chris. And at this point, my name is almost Chris because Disney says so. This is my name tag. And every day when I put on this name tag, I think about how I used to have this mustache. This mustache made me, and I'm not made fun of for it. But I love my mustache. This name tag now makes me, and I hate it. And I work at Disney, where everyone is happy, happy, happy. What are you doing with your hair? You know what to do. Happy face. I hate it. See, I love my mustache because even though it's cute, half tiny, people make fun of me for it. It was me, and it was fine as being a part of me. Disney won't work with me. Like, I work for it, so it won't work with me. Which, like, I don't think is fair. At the point where I was just joy. Joy for Disney. With no mustache, and hardly any Chris. And then, a few months later, I went home. I saw my parents, and they were just like, really excited to see me? Really excited, so happy. Oh my gosh, Mom, hi. Oh my gosh.
How's that mustache doing, son? How are you? How are you? Yeah?
See, no mustache because I couldn't have that choice.
That's why you want some no
mustache. This is Disney. I was home, and I still felt like I had this name tag. I think my parents know that I'm Chris. But I was beginning to realize I didn't know that I was Chris. Because Disney sort of took that away. And sort of felt like I needed a name tag that, like, I decorated myself. Like, one that was cool, one that was my name and my own, and that was a new mustache. It was pretty sexy. In fact, it's still pretty sexy because, well, always there. And my girlfriend seems to really like it. My parents seem to hate it. But I like my mustache, and my mustache likes me.